back to whatever devil made you. Won't you fuck off back to whatever devil made you. Won't you fuck off back to whatever devil sent you? Won't you fuck off back to whatever devil sent you? I spoke of criteria yesterday and how Donnie fits them all. And my God, does he? That's the horrifying part. For it implies many things. The implications are horror. That is a problem. I neglected to mention one of the most important criteria, at least in my opinion. I always knew, lest this person have some type of head wound that healed miraculously, then he does not qualify. Now, Donnie went through his entire first term and most of the 4 years after without that event taking place. So there was still a chance, son, that I was wrong. That Donnie was not the AC prophesied thousands of years ago. But then came Assassination Day. In Butler, so again, one of the most important criteria, if not the most important, in my opinion, to identify the Antichrist is the head wound. Now, as I'm sure you know, there are many schools of thought regarding this head wound thing described, and I will read it to you. I'll read you the chapter in a moment. It's the introduction. There are many schools of thought, and I've heard many of them, and I've weighed them. And one of the schools of thought is that the head wound is a metaphorical description of an event rather than a specific thing that happens to an individual man. For some reason, I personally, not because any teacher told me to or taught this, just knowing this information, looking at it, reading it, I always got the sense of a specific individual that was being described. That was my personal sense from the story, what I felt from it. So some have made the argument that the head wound is metaphorical, and they've compared it to things such as Russia falling, but then coming back as this other entity and coming back again and finally winning the war against the United States, getting his literal puppet who he has abject compromat on, and who also just happens to be a pedophile. So imagine what that compromat is, son. That Donnie is so afraid of it and does whatever Vlad wants. For now. For Donnie does have the biggest hammer, like I have told you way back when he first won a game. That you'd be giving him the biggest hammer. Therefore, he could turn on people like BB and Vlad, who have compromat on him. The only two men that have a leash on that monster. No one else. Until he snaps it. Which he will, I'm sure. So people have compared this head wound thing in Revelation to events like Russia falling and then coming back as this other thing, like I said, and little did we know, eventually winning the war against the United States. It's over. I don't know if you know that. Been over. Vlad has won. I'm very sorry. You gave it to him. I did not. I don't know what to tell you. You thought so little of it. I thought more. That's why I did not vote for the Orange Abomination. You thought little of it. You thought it was a game, a wrestling match, which is fake, a football game, some of them are fake, depending on what the bookies do, depending on what the bets are, and who owes money on the team. You understand players, coaches, others get in compromise where they owe some very tough people money. Therefore, they are willing to trade in playing favors for the money they owe. Or their legs get broken and their career's over. Things like that happen every hour in professional sports. You thought it was a game. You thought so little of it that you'd hand the keys to Vlad and his assets. That is why we are here. Me personally, I always took this story as an individual that would come. When I read this head wound thing, it was always the thing that struck me the most in the story. The thing I thought about the most. How it would play. Who it would be. How can a man be shot or hit in the head to where everyone thinks he is dead, and then he miraculously is healed? How will that work? That sounds like a miracle. What will that look like? I just knew it would be a specific individual with a head wound that would heal. I just knew it. I did not know it would be fake at the time. I should have known it's the devil. It's the antichrist, who lies more than the antichrist Donnie shitbags. I've never seen anyone lie at the pace Donnie does. He makes it an art form. We get the same lie every weekend about a new deal just in time for the stock market on Monday. No matter how pathetic or obvious or transparent the lie is at this point, a new one is told. I posted the one earlier that he told today. That's not what this is about. I should have known the miracles would be false. I knew what I was dealing with, but I did not factor it in. Now that we have seen, we know they are false. But that makes sense, for the devil does not have the power of God as much as he would like it. The devil cannot perform miracles, does not have the power of Christ or God the Father. He is something else, lesser. So all the miracles will be false. It will be naught but lies and misery and evil. That's also the sense I got from the story. 24/7, non-stop lies and evil, like a machine. So let us walk the path of the head wound being an event that happens to a specific individual. Let us read for a moment. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So some kind of beast. We find out later that this beast represents world kingdoms and leaders throughout time. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. His feet were the feet of a bear, his mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. That's talking about a specific individual. Or you could look at it as all the individuals that ran the various empires over time were of the devil and made up the beast in totality. The specific world kingdoms mentioned in the story, because this is just a small part of it. You could look at it that way. Because this empire is compared to Rome in this story as well. A new version of Rome. So you could look at it, and I do kind of look at it that way, like Adolf Hitler had the same spirit that Donnie has in him right now. Adolf had that spirit in him, possessed by that spirit, whatever it's called. Adolf died. The spirit went somewhere else. Now Donnie got it. Donnie's the final one. Because he matches the criteria of the final story. But the more important thing, such a mediocre entity as he, how did he get there? And the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. He gave them all their seats. Hitler, the ones before him. So you could apply it to them as well. And you could look at this beast as more than one man, and then a final one described. That's kind of how I look at it. But it's literally saying this person isn't so great and wonderful that they did this on their own. No, the devil gave it to him. He has literally the anointing of the devil, or the blessing of the devil. That is his chosen. And nothing can touch that, for the devil runs this realm. Obviously by what it's become and what we see every day. And what our society is. A tool to make rich people richer. That's all our society is. Nothing more. That's obvious. The ultimate expression of that, the ultimate expression of greed, sloth, fucking gluttony, Donnie shitbags, and the people he has around him. So, class, who gave this person their throne? The devil did. Literally. Not figuratively, not kinda, not metaphorically. That's his motherfucker. He picked him. He gave it to him. Otherwise, his mediocre ass wouldn't be there. That's simple. The devil rules here. God allows that. I don't know why. I'm not God. Probably because man chose it. In the garden, that story, whether that's metaphorical or not, man made a choice in some way and said, oh, we could be like God, like the devil says? That sounds cool. Let me eat this apple. Now, again, that could just be a metaphor for an act that was perpetrated. A choice was made to follow the devil, so maybe God just said, okay, follow the devil, see where it goes, see if you enjoy it. Can't help you now. You disobeyed. In fact, you open Pandora's box, that can't be unopened, can't be just put back in the box. That's not how this thing works. I assume that's probably the way it went. That man chose it. And none of us are special. One of the lessons that is often taught is any man in their place, any man and woman in their place would have fallen into sin the same way they did. That's why Christ is necessary. So don't think you would have been the special man or woman in the garden that would have always followed God and never disobeyed and never sinned. Impossible. That's why Christ is necessary. One more time, the devil gave him a seat. So when you're wondering, how does Donnie get away with how's he gotten away with all these things his whole life? It's like the devil's on his shoulder. Yep. Literally again. And when I say literally, that means something. Not figuratively, not entertainment world, not this is a TV show. That means literally, son. That's why he's untouchable. That's why he gets to stay and everyone else doesn't. For an amount of time. So the devil gave him his seat, his throne. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And we do all wonder after Donnie, because it causes chaos around the world. And wonder can be hate, can just be, it doesn't have to be popularity that everyone loves him. Nope, not in the slightest. That's not what it means. It means he is the subject of conversation. And people are always wondering about what he's doing, saying. Why? Because what he's doing and saying can result in a nuclear fucking bomb getting dropped, son. That's why. And that's the only reason. So the world wonders after him, and not in a good way. Very small percentage like Donnie shitbags. And that's obvious. Because there ain't much to like. So one of the heads get wounded, but it's healed. And all the world wondered. Yeah, we're all wondering. Most of the world's saying it was fake as fuck. Some people are running with the story for money. Maybe they're a broadcaster, newsman. They can't say it's a lie straight up on camera. Other people, because of political reasons, they're on that team. They can't say out loud it was bullshit. That means their team are a bunch of liars and fakers, and they've faked an assassination that people ended up dead. Someone I know made the point, well, his ear was hit, not his head. Good point. And I wish that was a big enough door for me to walk through to get the fuck out of this. I really do. But so much of the other criteria has been fulfilled. Down to the letter, man. And that, I look at it this way. A person saw this vision, allegedly from Jesus Christ, from the divine realm. And they wrote it down. So it's what they saw in their head, or what was put before their eyes, however it worked. If it's real. So what they saw was a man who looked like he got a wound in the head that killed him, and he went down, and then he got back up, and it was healed. That's what he saw. The person that saw the vision. They didn't have a newspaper that said, yeah, it was an ear that got hit. They didn't have a newscaster. They didn't have technology. They had no idea about any of this. This would have been alien stuff to them. They would have thought we were gods with what we have now and what we can do. And the way we look and how healthy we are and how big we've grown because we eat more food and nutrition and all that. Humans have actually gotten bigger. So it's a completely different universe than the time that person lived in, this John of Patmos person. And then again, the apocalypse, the antichrist, Jesus Christ is described in the Old Testament as well in various sections. So now you're talking writings that are even older. And then you got this modern version that's, probably over 1,000 years old. Not quite 2,000, over 1,000. Of this John of Patmos guy, who has some of the similar themes and info as the prior stories, but then it's got all this other totally different shit. Not contradictory, just new details. Very strange how this is put together. Then there's the Four Gospels. It's a strange book. There's nothing else like it. There's something different about it. And it's very thorough. So the Revelator, I'll call him, sees a man get hit in the head. He gets a sense that it's a wound that would kill any other man. If it hit him in the head, the man goes down. He sees him get back up. As if he wasn't hit in the head. Sees the blood. If I saw that vision, if you saw it, you would say that person got a head wound that should have killed them. And it healed and they lived. It's a miracle. John does not say that these miracles are lies. The Bible does not say these miracles are lies. I only understand that now because I've seen them. And then I said, oh yeah, it's the devil. He can't do fucking miracles. The Revelator lived in a different time. Had no concept of technology. So these things would have seemed like miracles. Fire raining from the heavens, which is in here as well, what I'm about to read to you. They would have seemed just straight up like miracles. We would have seemed like gods to these people. What we can do now with modern technology. So it still fits for me personally. I wish it fucking didn't. Again, more than any of you, I'm looking for a door the fuck out of the apocalypse. I'm not talking about killing myself or death, because that don't get me out of it. It's still happening. I'm talking about, okay, so I see something that tells me, all right, you're wrong. It's not it. You can walk through the door and go about your business. I wish to see that all day, every day, and I never do. Even with that great point that he was hitting the ear, or that's what they presented to us, that he was hitting the ear, not the head, technically. The ear's on your head, but whatever. Again, if I think of a guy and, seeing it in a vision, yeah, I think it was a head wound too. And I think it was a miracle too. 4 guns. So, class, I'm sorry. Assassination Day came. And for me, again, in Revelation, that's the defining event. If that happens to a person, they pretty much the guy. Donnie put that whole theater on before us. For his own reasons. And he's done it several more times. But that time, as I'm still hoping, that day when it happened in Butler, as I'm still hoping I'm focusing on other things. I'm focused on the woman I'm with. That's my whole life. I'm not really worried about anything else. I just kind of settled into that. And then that event happens, and I see the footage of it for the first time. And I know exactly what it was, what I was witnessing. That moment I've pondered for decades. That moment that people have pondered for over 1,000 years as they've read the Bible and tried to interpret it. And I'm sure that many of them thought the end was in their time, just like me right now. And again, I have to admit, if I would have saw Adolf Hitler, World War II, all that, I would have thought he was the Antichrist. Why? Donnie just like him. The same religion, Nazism, born of Hitler. We're reliving it again for a second time. Donnie got the extra blessing. He's head of the real empire. Hitler was not. Hitler was the head of a small country in Europe that was devastated by World War I. Donnie got the keys to a straight-up, full-on greatest empire that ever existed on this planet by 1,000-fold, 1,000,000-fold, called the U.S. military. That's what I mean by greatest. Not most moral or upright. No, that's not what I mean. Donnie got the keys to that, and you gave them. Never forget that. You know who you are. So the day came, and I knew, because I still wasn't convinced I was wrong yet. I was hoping I was still wrong. I was looking forward to that day I could go on camera and say, I was wrong. Go about your business. I almost did it again right before the coup happened. Because the Antichrist would never just leave, ever. That's not in his nature. To give that grift, that kingship, that authority, that power up. Oh no. So I was about to admit it. And then the coup happened. I was like, fuck. And then after the coup, and they didn't arrest him, and time just kept going by. I'm like, maybe I can admit it now. And I was like, the coup, the coup, the coup. You can't admit it yet. You can't. You're not certain. And then the Butler thing happened. And that's when I was 100% granite certain. And I didn't want to be. Major criteria. Without that incident, without that moment, it does not apply to the person you're pointing at as the Antichrist. Did Pete fail? Did Leon Scum take a wound to the head that healed? Did the devil give them ultimate power and authority, presidency of the United States? Nope. I know they think they have it. They don't. Leon's black eye and his foot, that foot that's still lodged in his ass of Donnie's when he kicked him the fuck out the White House, that should tell you that they ain't running shit. And that Donnie got the blessing. As much as they think they running shit. As much as BB and Vlad think they running shit. Not with this monster. Not forever. Greasy Pete and Leon had to learn that the hard way. Vlad has not learned that yet. BB has not. BB's learned that in a few different instances. Donnie has kind of thrown him under the bus and not gone along with what he wanted. So, Assassination Day, here it is right here. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Do we not all wonder after him? Not in adoration. That's not what I mean. You know what I mean. Is his assassination not discussed all the time amongst people? Is the whole world not on eggshells hoping he doesn't drop a nuke on somebody? We don't wake up and see that, or some crazy shit. So, you saw the event, I saw the event, and son, that was the event. That's written right here. No conjecture, no kind of, no stretches to get there. Right in your face. Shot to the ear, allegedly. Goes down, gets back up. 2 days later, the ear looks fucking perfect. Then he puts the ear maxi pad on it. Because people were pointing, hey, the ear looks pretty good there for getting hit with an AR-15 bullet, son. Looks pretty darn healed there, Donnie. What's up with that? Oh, let me just put this maxi pad on it. That'll convince them. You saw the event, son. The Antichrist is of the devil, his literal chosen. Devil cannot do miracles, neither can Donnie. Everything will be false and lies. Has it not been so far? You saw the event. That's what stuns me most. I saw it, man. I was stunned when I looked at it. Because I knew what I was... it's all occurring to me in granite now. That's it. That's that event you pondered for decades that people have been wondering about. Bible teachers, all kind of people that thought about this subject and studied it. And were told about it. That pivotal event, thousands of years in the making in the history of this fucking planet. Millions of years if scientists are correct and the planet's, millions of years old. I have no idea how old the Earth is. Understand that. You witnessed this. What was written over 1,000 years ago, again, however old the Earth is, from that point to now it took to get here. Thousands, if not millions of years. And you saw it, and I saw it. And that's what I was realizing as it was playing out before me. Donnie's countenance, I never seen him like that before either. He had the spirit, son. And boy, did he ham it up. I never seen him so... I don't know. Active. I don't know how to put it. Animated. I saw later some WWF clips years later, months or a year later, I can't remember, where he had that kind of almost similar energy. And he was in some stunt type shit. But of course it was all rehearsed, all acted out. Wrestling isn't real. WWF was not real. Still dangerous, you could still get hurt. But I'd never seen him that animated, and when he put the fist, I don't know, seeing the blood, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm seeing the head wound that healed right in front of me. It's actually happening. You got to see it. There's a reason I'm pausing on this. And I got to see it. That book that people looked at for over 1,000 years, Revelation. And these events about a specific time at the end. The last book in the Bible. specific events about specific people and nations. And we saw that already. So how far are we into this is a damn good question. I'm not God. I don't know. I wish I did, son. As horrible as that knowledge is, because I'm not knowing. I don't know what's worse. Is there 5 years left? 20, 10, 3, 2, 1.5? I'm thinking under 5. I'm 3 from the time Donnie won. 5, something like that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna have to get back out in a second, unplug this thing. It's about to stop charging, and if you leave it like this, it drains the 12 volt battery. I didn't even know there was a 12 volt battery in these cars until I ran out of juice in it. Because it does some switch over thing, so you gotta shut the car off, turn it back on, and then it goes to the main battery. Anyway, so we got to see literally one of the most monumental events in scripture and in history. A main indicator of, yeah, you in the end, motherfucker, and there's no denying it or getting around it. That event is very specific. And it happened to Donnie. No one else. Who else staged an assassination where they got hit in the head and then they survived? No one. Okay. So the whole world wondered after the beast, after that moment. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Again, they're saying that the authority that Donnie has, the seat, the power he has right now, that comes from the devil, literally. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Who can stop him? No one can stop him. He just does what he wants and he gets away with it. And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. That's just shy of 4 years, 3.5, something like that. But when does the clock start? A bunch of this other stuff happened. And this is saying there's a clock on it. When the fuck does that start, though? When he wins the presidency? Like Brother James thinks, does he build this empire up for years and years, 10 years, where he declares he's king of the earth? He already thinks that now. So I don't know if I agree with Brother James, but Brother James, again, is much more knowledgeable than me in Scripture. He would be Yoda. I'd be like Luke Skywalker. Something a bit lesser. If you want a metaphor. I don't think of myself as Luke Skywalker, don't worry. Or a Jedi or something. It's just a metaphor. Donnie speaks blasphemies by the minute. And he does it consistently every day. And he'll use AI to do it, his own mouth to do it, the TV, the press to do it, via an interview. He'll post it on True Social. There's, 8 different ways he can spout these fucking blasphemies. Constantly blaspheming the dead. Reiner, Mueller, these girls he fucking bombed in Iran. He lied about that. Said Iran did it. Lying on the dead, son. Makes an art of it. Does it on a routine fucking basis. And, either by post all day when he's having a medical episode, or interviews again, or, straight up press conferences, just constant blasphemies. Speaking great things and blasphemies. Given unto him a mouth, not just a mouth, all kind of things, all kind of ways for him to communicate these fucking blasphemies every second of the fucking day. Have you noticed that? Have you ever seen anything like it in your life? A thing, an entity that seems to get off on making the whole world fucking miserable. That seems to give him some kind of pleasure, as if he hates us. I've made that argument that he hates everybody. He hates the United States for what it did to him. He hates New York for what it did to him. He hates all of us as citizens for what this country did to him. I heard someone make an argument today. Hitler, as his failures became more evident, lashed out on the people more. And I was like, wow, that sounds real fucking familiar. And I've said to you many times, when things seem like we're closing in on him, I've told you many times, he's like a cornered rat, and it makes him more dangerous. Because no one's going to put him in fucking prison or make him leave. So there's only one option left: get more dangerous and do more harm. which Donnie always does. So have we not seen this, son? That's why I really have the question, how has the 42 months not started? It's constant, minute by minute, every single day. And no, he does not take weekends off. He makes sure he says something to get everybody all riled the fuck up about 5 times a day at least. Even on Sunday, son. Constantly talking shit on the dead. Utter warmonger. A head wound or ear wound that fucking magically healed. That moment on the coin. Immortalized on the coin. What's also on the coin? The 666 is on the coin. That's also in here. The number. Another criteria. So how have the 42 months not started? That's what I need to know, Lord. Are you kidding me? If they haven't started, I hate to see when they do. So when does that clock start? I really feel like it's already started. There's not a minute he lets us have peace. That's intentional. That's of the devil, son. It was the same thing in the first term. He did pretty much the same thing. But now it's on steroids. Because he don't ever plan on leaving. Last time took him by surprise. He lost the election. Then he's like, oh shit, now I got to come up with a plan. He only had a few months. Not even a month and a half, something like that. So that was on the fly. That was without proper planning. That was without the sycophants. And he almost succeeded. Damn close. If one man didn't use that gun and kill somebody, I think they would have succeeded. Because Chris Miller, Kosh Patel, and Donnie were making sure that no help was coming. So again, I really feel like the 42 months has started. I don't see how it couldn't have, but again, I'm not God. And Brother James disagrees with that thesis. I haven't mentioned it to him, but he gave his theory of we probably got 10 years left or something like that. Donnie's got to build his world kingdom. That's what he said. I felt more of an urgency. And when I look again at Donnie, just constant blasphemy and just vomiting out just horrific statement after horrific statement. I can't see how it hasn't started yet. He gets 42 months from a certain time. That's the best I can give you. But you have a brain. Look at his performance every day. Is he not speaking great things and blasphemies every single second of every fucking day? My God, I don't know how a human fits it in. Lest he of the devil's son. Fits that much in. And it seems to bring him some type of joy. He wouldn't do it so much otherwise. Just like the devil, just like his daddy. Loves making us all miserable. That's the point of it. And then come worship me after they make us all miserable. That's also the point. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So he becomes king of the earth. Somehow, again, the president of the United States is already kind of king of the fucking earth, isn't he? And Donnie is making sure he makes that literal. But maybe, like Brother James says, there comes a moment where it's declared that he's king of the earth. The way all the tech bros and every major corporation came and laid $1 million at his feet, it already looked like they were treating him and looked at him as king of the earth to me. But who knows? There could be a specific moment where it's declared. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. But you gotta keep reading. You gotta keep reading, son. Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. The Lamb slain from the foundation of the world is Jesus Christ. In case you didn't know. So it's all one sentence. And it makes clear, although the opening of the sentence is a bit misleading. And with a lot of Bible verses and things that people have heard from the Bible that haven't studied it, seen on documentaries, shit like that, they don't remember the rest. They remember the first 7, 8 words. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship. That's what they remember. But there's more, whose names are not written in the book of life. So no, it says nowhere that the whole world loves the Antichrist, worships and thinks he's great. Nope, not at all whatsoever. Never does it say that. Even though that's what everyone thinks. Whose names are not written in the book of the life. Excuse me, book of life. I'm tired. What does that mean? That means if all these thousands of years later you're finally born in this realm here, and you happen to be born sorry. There we go. And you happen to be born at the end of the story. After all these generations, and you decide at the end of the story to take the mark of the beast and follow the Antichrist. What does that mean? What is that passage saying that I just read to you? That you were dead before you were born. Your name was never in the book. That's what it means, literally. When they say your name is not written in the book, and they talk about the foundation of the world, they're talking about from the beginning. That means literally, son, you were dead before you were born. You never were. Your existence will cease to be a memory. Time with God, the Trinity, works different than for us. And you'll see that theme throughout the Bible, from the foundations of the earth, or, from the beginning. And I've mentioned before how the devil knew, before we ever read any of this, before one human knew what language, writing, reading stories, before the first human walked the earth, the devil knew his destiny. That's why you've been trying to stop it all this time. That's the way time works for them. They knew what was going to happen thousands of years ago. They knew what scripture was going to be. That's how the devil knew. This right here. He saw it before he got an advanced copy before we saw it. Literally. That's how he knew what was going to happen to him. He saw this. He knew this. That's why he's been trying to stop it ever since. God knew every choice he was going to make, every choice I was going to make, you were going to make, and that's what he bases his judgment on. Not, oh, well, I'm just going to birth this piece of crap. Nope. The judgment at the end is because God already knew the future. He is God. He is the only one that knows all of the future. Every bit of it, every atom of it. So he knew every choice every creation of his would make before they made it. So he knew they were dead before they were born. Some of them. Because what? Because of the choices they made. So only those not written in the book of life will follow the Antichrist. Never does it say he's so popular, everyone loves him, and everyone's going to worship him. If that was the case, again, everyone would be of the devil. Everyone would go in the lake. Everyone would be thrown away. There'd be nobody to persecute. That would mean there's no Christians left, no followers of Christ or God left on the planet. Just Satan worshipers. That's it. Who would the Antichrist kill, go after, persecute? Who would be those people described that were beheaded? That group of people, whoever they are. Probably those that refuse the mark. And others. Who's that group of people? If everyone's a Satan worship, everyone loves the Antichrist, everyone takes the mark, please give it to me. So that doesn't make logical sense. Even in a story, it doesn't make logical sense. That everyone loves him, everyone worships him. And it says literally only those not written in the book. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Again, Brother James doesn't think it's Leon. I guess he thinks it's going to be someone younger. But Leon is very effeminate and very lamb-like, in my opinion. Could very easily be him. And remember, this was a package fucking deal when Donnie got elected. Never forget that. That is very strange. Same thing happened with Hitler again. Hitler was co-chancellor. Not normal. We got a package deal too. Leon has made fire rain from the sky or heavens or however you want to word it many times with rockets that blow up. And it literally looks like fire raining down. Streaks of fire. Or it could be Stephen Miller or someone like that. Stephen, I'm sure, has directed military operations. Could be Pete Hegseth. But again, Leon has the pulpit, Twitter, the greatest text website that ever was on this planet. The most far-reaching, the most influential. It literally cost Donnie the second election. So did CNN. That's why they both got targeted. And are now under new ownership. And I said that back when it happened. I said CNN and Twitter were integral in Donnie being gone. The Lincoln Project with George Conway at the time, he's not in it anymore. They were integral. And then later on, who did they target? Twitter, viciously, to ruin it. And boy, did he ruin it. CNN. And they ruined that too. They knew exactly what to go after. They knew exactly what hurt them. And so did I. Because I paid attention. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. So the saints would do things like nonviolence always. If they beat us up, they beat us up. If they lock us up, they lock us up. We do nonviolence like Jesus Christ, always, except when he was in a temple. That's the theme they're repeating. I used to think this meant something different. I've explained it to you. Um, I get it now. So if you pick up the sword when they come for you, remember they came for Christ. Peter had a sword. Peter drew the sword. Christ said, no, I don't want people getting killed, all that. I'm going to my cross willingly. That's what my God, my Father wants me to do. That's my mission here. I'm not here to kill people with a sword yet. Now I'm here as servant and savior. Or excuse me, servant and sacrifice, I should say. Literally. Because before Christ, you had to kill an animal to atone for sins. So Christ went to his cross willingly. He did not fight. He did not pick up the sword. In fact, he told Peter to put down the sword. That's what they're teaching here. That's what they're saying here. You could pick up the sword when they come for you, and you could die by the sword when they come for you. Or you could walk willingly, go willingly to your cross. Very tough decision, isn't it? There's also the argument I always wonder about World War II and Adolf Hitler. What would God have us do? Just stand back and let Hitler kill, rape, pillage, plunder across the whole planet, and us just stand back, turn the other cheek? I really think God would not be down with that concept. And I really wonder if the turn the other cheek philosophy is meant for specific people that have specific missions on this planet like Christ had, where they're supposed to be a bit more serious representatives of Christ. I really wonder if that's who it's for. But in this end time, the mass Gestapo will come for a lot of us. Those of us that don't take the mark. People will come. People will come if you're talking shit like I am. People will come for late night comedians. People will come for politicians that the devil does not like. And you must decide at that time, do I go or not go? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just reading this to you. You decide what to do. Because again, there is that whole Nazi aspect to this, which these people are. And in the war, a lot of American soldiers killed a lot of Nazis. So did the Russians and the Europeans. They did too. So you could either pick up your sword or you could throw it down when they come for you, and many people will be come for. That's why that's in there. The other beast, I personally, again, think it's Leon because we got the package deal in the beginning and they're both the same entity. Donnie and Leon are exactly the same person. They both thought they were going to bump the other one out the way and be supreme God, Emperor, Caesar, King. Both have the same dream, the same goal. Both are of Satan and both pay tribute to Satan. I've cited the examples. Very obvious ones, by the way. Donnie won the fight, and I knew he would. I told you that before it even happened. That Donnie would get him out the way. And that Leon wanted him out the way. I knew Donnie would win. Why? I just read it to you. The devil gave him his seat and authority. In other words, he has the blessing. Leon does not. Thale does not. None of the other people you're pointing at have the fucking blessing. Have you noticed that? So, although Leon would like to be Beast 1, he's at best Beast 2. And again, a package deal is being described here. I don't know if you noticed. What did we get? A package deal. That's not normal for the American presidency. To have a co-chancellor giving speeches from the Oval Office. As if he's fucking president. Holding his little child, letting him run around and tell Donnie he ain't shit, he ain't the president. That's not normal. That's new for us, new territory. Having the richest man in the world due to government welfare. And only government welfare. And the devil, of course. In the Oval Office, condescending to us as he plans to turn it into a Nazi Reich and subjugate every one of us. As if he's some corporate executive in jeans and a t-shirt cunt that thinks he's smarter than everyone. When the only reason anyone's listening to him is because of the authority and money they have. And they don't want to lose their job. These people get the mistaken idea that they're actually liked or something. No, if I diss you, if I don't listen to you, I lose my employment and I can't feed myself or my kids. Only reason I'm talking to you. So we got a package deal. A second beast is described here, a second entity that eventually wants an image made to the antichrist. I'll be right back. I did not mean for this to be this long. Okay. So the second beast speaks as a dragon as well, horns like a lamb. Exercises all the power of the first beast before him. Leon walked around with the power of the president. Stephen Miller again. Many people say he's running shit. But again, there's a pulpit involved. Stephen does like to preach the Nazi doctrine. He loves giving the Goebbels impressions all day, every day. But he's not in our face all the time. Leon was more in our face. He was like co-chancellor. And again, he has that huge pulpit. So it's hard to know exactly who it is until a certain moment. Just like it was hard to know if Donnie was until a certain moment. And causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. So someone is going to ask us to worship him. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Leon's done that many times again. And Leon has the pulpit, the ultimate pulpit. That's why they paid so much money for it. Because they had to have it. But then again, Miller, I'm sure, has directed some military work. And he gives these speeches that are straight up Goebbels impressions. So it could be him. And he's Donnie's kind of right-hand man right now. So it could be him. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. They mention it again, the head wound. I've explained to you, in my opinion, that means the head wound is central, integral to all this, and Donnie has made it central and integral. It's literally on the coin that will eventually be the only money you're allowed to use, probably. Because it has the number on it, so I more than assume, it's got to be that. I expect it to be that. That image and that number wouldn't be on there otherwise. I'm glad I remembered that. People have said to me, well, what if they're just acting it all out because, they want whatever benefits come along with it? Or they're trying to usher something in. If they were acting it all out, what I realized, if they were trying to just usher something in, if they were playing roles and trying to act for us, one, Donnie wouldn't have been a monster his whole fucking life. Throw rocks at babies and shit. You go all the way back into his youth. He's a fucking monster. And he was raised by monsters. So that wasn't an act. And he was with Epstein way before he became president, son. He was doing all that work. So he's been a fucking monster his whole life. He ain't doing no act. That's Donnie. But here's the real indicator. If they were doing an act and they were just playing roles and trying to usher something, whatever, they just would have wrote 666 on that coin in plain old English, not FFF. That's what really tells me, yeah, they ain't just pulling an act here. This isn't people playing roles. This is the story, whether we like it or not. This image thing, just as Donnie's, in my opinion, the defining characteristic or the defining moment that etches it in granite that Donnie's the Antichrist is that head wound thing. You can't get around that criteria and talk metaphorically. It happened, we all saw it. And it's what's described here. That etched it in stone for me. That was the defining criteria, in my opinion, for the false prophet. The person that says we need to make an image to Donnie, that will be the defining criteria. That will tell me who it is. For sure. For certain. I still think it's Leon. Because he's, again, he might as well be Donnie's younger brother. He's the same thing. Had the same dream. He didn't want to be co-chancellor for nothing, son. He wanted Donnie out the fucking way. And we all know JD's itching to take over. And Thale and Leon would love that. But Leon wanted it to be him. If he can't have him, he'll take fucking the couch fucker. And the couch fucker will be all too happy to be president. It's written all fucking over him. So whoever gets to that point where they say we need to make an image to him. Now, an image is already killing people. An AI for America, designed by an American company, is in the possession of the military under Donnie's control, and that's already killed people. So an image already has the power to kill people now. It's just, who do we deploy it against? It will soon be deployed against you. That's obviously what they're talking about here. An AI image that we must worship or respect, something. And if you don't, it has the ability to flip an algorithmic switch and send a drone or something or someone to kill you. I told you again, way back when Donnie first took over and before, drones and AI will be policing you. The opener will be drones in schools to protect the little children's. Nope, it's to get you used to having drones deployed publicly in public spaces to watch you, dumbass. Son, I just saw some people install a camera which looks like a flock device that can send signals. It's got the same exact shape and everything a flock device has. So it's that type of camera and everything that can give signals to somewhere else. Attached it to a clothing drop-off. I couldn't believe it. I just saw that today. This clothing drop-off, people drop off clothes and shoes, and you'll see people dig through it and look for stuff. And you'll see people take stuff. And then you'll see the big truck come and empty it and take it away, probably for someone to sell and make a whole bunch of money off your free gift. And they took those away. And they put new ones. 2 big boxes, metal, green, huge metal boxes with a lock. And it's got the, when you put the stuff in, you can't get it back out. Those, you pull the drawer down, you drop it in, and then you close it, and it just pushes it all, and you can't reach your hand in and get anything. And then, son, because I saw men messing with it today. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And then I realized later, they put one of those flock type camera devices with the little solar thing, and the signal, the antenna, and all of it, the whole thing. And I'm like, is that fucking thing going to be gathering data? Is that also the idea installing that? And then that person could sell that data? Just like all the other companies are? And also it's security, so people don't take clothing or whatever they want to take from the Dropbox area. I see people do it all the time. I've seen people I've seen people pull up in a van with little children, and they put the little child in the slot and let them go down into the fucking box. And hand shit up. I've seen people come with a device like a claw, with a trigger or something, or a hook, and stick the device down and pull the stuff up and go through it. Oftentimes people drop stuff off on the side. I mean, people just drop all kinds of stuff at this place. And people go through that shit. I guess someone got tired of it. I just couldn't believe I saw the flock camera on it today, and that men put it on. I'm like, they that serious about them clothes and shoes, huh? Holy shit. And I wondered when I first saw the new boxes and I saw the locks on them and how nice they were. I said, someone's making money on that, aren't they? That's what it is. They wouldn't have went through the trouble. And I saw men fucking with it today. I said they wouldn't have went through that trouble unless there's money involved. And then I saw the flock camera later, and there's definitely money involved. And it's kind of fucked up. I thought about it today. How people drop that stuff off for free. They probably think they're doing a good thing. And it's only going to some store so some fucking jerk off can make a bunch of money on it. It's a shame. It should go to the needy for free, in my opinion. Whoever wants it. I'm not big on that. I'm not big on going to clothing drop boxes and taking stuff out. I don't care if people do it. Who gives a fuck? I know where to get clothes for discount when I need to. You know what I mean? Clothes that I like, actually, too, which is surprising. It didn't used to be that way. I grew up on a small island with a surf shop that marked everything up because it was a small island. He couldn't make no money. There were no customers. So, if I wanted a certain type of clothing, I'm not talking about Gucci and Armani here. That's not what I wear. If I wanted a certain type of clothing, I had to pay for it. It was expensive. And I wasn't a rich kid. Fast forward a few decades later, they sell the shit for fucking $6. Clothing that's quality and name brands that people were paying $60 a fucking sweatshirt for back in the day. Whatever, man. I'll take it. Anyway, back to this. How the fuck did I get on all that? Oh, the image. Yes, I assume the image, and part of the reason I knew AI and drones were going to be policing you is this story, and the other part was Ukraine proving through the years that you can defeat a superpower with drones, with way less men, with a way smaller country. You don't need soldiers anymore. You need drones. That's it. So I expect someone to say we need to make an image to Donnie. Maybe he turns into a vegetable, which he's awful close to, or maybe not. And this AI version of Donnie will have the authority of Donnie, and anyone that disses it, talks shit, will be under surveillance everywhere. I've heard the flock cameras now have audio. That's nice to know. For our safety. And they might pick up gunshots or something. And that thing will be omnipresent. The devil's dream. He's always wished to be omnipresent. That's a power that no other tyrant ever had, to actually be omnipresent via the surveillance via AI. That's why this beast is different than the prior beasts. He can actually be omnipresent and police the world. Or a damn lot of it. AI computers. Surveillance. All goes hand in hand. And now we know of an image that can go forth and talk for people and seem like it has life. And the ability to kill. It exists right now, and it's already been used to kill autonomously. There are many testing grounds for that. And believe me, those testing grounds have been active with let's try the AI and see how it works on its own. So, what needs to change to make this a part of our life? Someone needs to demand it. That will reveal who the actual false prophet is, for certain, in concrete. I don't know if it'll be actual worship, as if it's God. You must worship Donnie. You must worship his image as if it's God, or you die. Or it's just respect, like if you violate the surveillance in some way. Then that's you not worshiping, not respecting. A switch gets flipped by the algorithm itself. And a drone's deployed to kill you. All we need is that wearable, the surveillance infrastructure, which is mostly already existing. They will add to it, of course, more cameras, more audio, more cameras, more audio. All we need is our tie to it, which would probably be the wearable or digital ID. They need some way other than your phone to tie your digital presence to you. That is the completion of you being a slave forever. That would be the mark, son. A wearable something that ties your body to the digital world. Always. A mark, a wearable RFID chip, something to that effect. Could be any one of those. RFID tattoo. What I'm trying to tell you is you understand how close you are to this. Not 5 years away, not 10. We're right on the precipice of it. So whoever says we need to make this image, and some have already sold the government the Reich and images, so I don't know, man. When that person says that, makes that a priority, that'll reveal to me who it is. The false prophet. I still think it's Leon. I mean, who but Mecha Hitler would be best for Donnie's image, right? I don't know. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let he that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. I told you how Donnie is tied to 666, so I'm not going to go into that again. Again, about a specific man. A specific number. It's already on the coin. What is the mark of the beast? Is it a mark as in currency that goes along with a wearable? A tie to the digital world that makes you a slave? Every transaction is tracked because there's no more cash. Only Donnie coin. With the number of his name on it. 666, that is. Fight, fight, fight. FFF. F is the sixth letter of the alphabet. I figured that out in about 15 seconds. Because I knew it would be there before I even fucking looked. It talks about exclusion from society, utterly, totally, completely. They're already shutting people's money off. They've done this to certain artists now in the UK that do Japanese-style cartoon art that has some very serious subject matter in the cartoons sometimes. They've arrested some of these people. They're trying to equate them to child pornography or some inappropriate child content. Some of them had their bank accounts shut off. Do you see where this is going? I already explained to you about the European ICC judges had they shit shut off because Donnie wanted it. And the banks went along. The banks went along with shutting these artists shit off too. We got Bill Gates giving speeches about if you don't have it by 2028, Digital ID, digital presence. If you don't take part, you'll be excluded from society. He's saying it straight up. The pedophile Bill Gates. They're trying to pass the digital ID bills right now. Not next week. Now. The driving surveillance, all of it. We got the flock all over the place. Last piece of the puzzle. Something on you. Then it's slavery for everyone, forever. Funny. Exactly what they've described here are all the bills that are in Congress and across the world, because Zuckerberg and Gates spread a bunch of money around globally. So all of Europe, the entire world, Asian countries, America, they're all trying to pass this. We must have a digital presence. And once they cut you off, son, I don't know if you've realized this yet, you can't just make another account. You'll be blackballed. You'll have one presence. No anonymity allowed on the internet anymore. What does that mean for us? We cannot participate in society unless we have a digital presence, a digital ID. You need the internet to participate. Don't act like you don't. To get a job, to do anything. We got them saying out loud, several of these tech bros, including Gates, you won't be allowed to participate. We got this story from over 1,000 years ago talking about obviously a future time that these people did not know about, where there was technology and a digital world on top of the physical one. And we've walked further and further into that digital world, just like they wanted us to get us here because we liked it. And once they tie you to that, because it's integral to take part in this world right now, you will have one presence online that will be tied to all your bank accounts, every fucking thing. Your car, since that'll be surveilling you too. All the flocking bullshit, AirPod cameras, doorbell cameras, all that will be filming you as well and listening to you as well at all times. There will be nowhere to go, and there will be something on your body somewhere. You will not be able to escape it. The AI that polices all this, we'll be able to deploy a drone. If you take your wearable off or whatever off, you try and, it'll be able to detect in seconds. There will be no escape. You understand that. And you will have one digital presence. If they shut it off, you're not allowed to be anonymous. You can't just make another account. You're gone. Your shit is shut off. That's the point of this exercise. No more anonymity. You get one shot at it if they blackball you anywhere. Your banking, your online presence, social media, whatever. That's it. It's over. So understand where you is and what they're trying to do to you. Even surveil you in your car, man. And then you got RFK Jr., smackhead. Yeah, everyone should have a wearable inside 4 years. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. And the literal bills that this system is talking about are being voted on. Some have already been voted on. They're literally building a system that's inescapable, where if you do not partake, you don't fucking eat. You can't exist. You can't get a job. You can't do anything. And it can track you everywhere, listening to you at all times, filming you. You step the fuck out of line, a algorithmic switch is flipped by an algorithm, and you're dead. That's what they build in, and that's what they want. And they talk about it openly. We have the debate in front of us about drones autonomously killing people and then blackballing companies that don't want to go along. We got Cocaine Carp saying he wishes he could deploy drones on certain people that spray chemicals on them. That's how these fucking psychos think. He gave the game away when he said that. That's where they want to take the world, literally. That's what they feel they have the right to do to people. Literally described right here. So either this mark that has the number, you can't take part except for those that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now the name, you know, his signature will be on money, his face will be on coinage, so you could say that's the name of the beast on a currency. I'm just wondering, is this story, when they say the mark, are they talking about the currency with the 666? And that the wearable or whatever goes on your body isn't the mark? Are they both the mark? Some places call their money marks. Right now, the number is on the currency. That tells me we'll need the currency to participate. But obviously RFK and the Reich, they want to put something on us. RFK called it a wearable. I know exactly what he meant by that and what it was. That's the mark. Or the digital thing that goes along with it. That can see in your body, track you, do all the wonderful things. Even with surveillance in your car, you could still, again, put your phone down, walk away from the car, walk away from your home with the flock camera nearby and the doorbell camera, and go into a field and have a unspied on conversation. Once it's on your body, that's it. It's over. All freedom is over. Utter slavery from that point forward. Our entire society, our entire globe. It's literally saying the number of this man is 666. It's literally saying this number will be on something he will offer you. The number is already on Donnie Coin. So how much further do we have till that coin's in your hand being spent? Metaphorically. If it already exists. And I guess you could consider the mark both things, because both, or at least one of them will have the number of his name. One of them already does. What's this wearable or other thing going to have on it? I doubt they would put fight, fight, fight on it. But if you take the thing on your body, whatever that may be, a wearable, in conjunction with the actual mark, which is the currency with the number on it, they kind of go hand in hand. The wearable just ties you to the digital world and can see in your body. The currency has the number on it. But I haven't seen what they want to put on our body yet, so maybe that'll have something on it. Maybe I'm wrong and it'll straight up write 666 on it. I don't know. I doubt it. All I know is there's already a currency that has the number on it. The number of a man, a specific man. Not an idea, not a spirit, a specific man. He already has something that he's offered to some of you called Donny Coin. It literally has the number on it. So, if you invested in that specific NFT, whatever the fuck it's called, cryptocurrency, whatever the fuck it's technically called, I guess you've taken the mark already. I don't know how else to look at it. Taking the mark before it's even the mark. It's fucking bad. What's bothering me, why I read this to you, even though I talked about us all other things, the mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Again, it depends on the translation. Some have on. I'm looking at it as it could be in or on. There's so many different ways to do this. The main point is the pledge of loyalty and all that by the act of taking the mark, which incidentally results in you having an utter tie to a digital world that you cannot escape, that is used to police every aspect of your life. You step out of line, it can even kill you. You're tied to the digital world that you have on your body. Something can be deployed based off that device and your location. And they'll know it's you because they'll have heart rate data and all of it. The same thing your car's going to get off you while you're driving. You can sell it all, son. Tell if you're in an agitated state. That's really what it's for. All that heart monitoring and see inside your body. Is you going to do something, son? Is your heart rate elevated? Or they're going to give us some drug, have us put something in our body on a routine basis. And if you're not doing that, that device will detect it and they'll know. Just like the DARPA woman said, we'll know if you took the pill. We'll know if you took your medication. Wearables see in your body. The chip that she was hawking, or the RFID pill, could monitor certain things in your body for a minute and send them a signal. We already have an image that can speak. We already have images that can be assigned to humans. We already have images that are assigned to humans. One's called Grok, one's called Claude, one's... I don't know the other names. Microsoft has theirs. Google has theirs. They all have an image going forth for them, don't they? So it's no leap of logic, is it? Or 40 years into the future, to picture them making an image for Donnie because he's a vegetable or just because they want to. They need a digital policeman to go around the internet and kill us if need be, and police us and ruin our lives and make us miserable. Donnie can't do that. They got to make a version of him, whether he's a vegetable or not. Already exists. A bunch of billionaires already have their own image. Zuck has his. Bill has his. Leon has his. Sindar has his. Those images are being used to kill people already in other countries. Autonomously. That's what they want to do here. That's why they had to debate publicly. The thing I'm not confused by, but I know they're going to want to put something on our body. I know the coin already has the number on it. That's what's bothering me. What's the actual mark going to have? Or does God in this story consider the currency the mark? Because the currency already has his number on it. I mean, what the fuck's the wearable or whatever thing they're gonna want on our body gonna have on it? Maybe that'll just, again, like I said, have straight up 666. That'd be fucked up. That'd be kind of an indicator. Might be a little too open and honest and obvious. Might turn some people off. That's why you got FFF on the coin and not 666. Got to be careful with that shit. Can't be too obvious. Got to give people a doorway to go along so their conscience is clear. Like, I know F is the 6th letter of the alphabet and it's there 3 times. It's a triple iterated word. The same word 3 times, just like the same number 3 times, 666. A triple iteration. But it's not a 6. So it's okay. I can take it. It's not the mark. I'm good. I'm covered. Yeah, that's why they did it that way. So you would have that covered. And your conscience could be clear all the way to the lake. Because that's where you go if you take the mark. So I wouldn't take it if I were you. And what's bothering me is the mark sounds like something. It sounds like a currency too, because you can't take part in the system without this mark. That would probably be Donnie coin. But again, they're going to put something on our body, and I'm just wondering what the fuck that's going to have on it. Other criteria met. Huge criteria. Maybe more important than the other criteria I spoke of yesterday. The head wound. We've already seen it. That should horrify you. It horrified me. That we saw that event. Because I know what that means. Not good for us. Has it been good, son? No, it hasn't. Biblical disaster. Literally. The other criteria, his number, 666. It's his number. I explained how yesterday. And worse. His number's on that coin. That tells me he's going to want to give that coin to you someday. And you're going to need that coin, otherwise you can't participate. And you're also going to need your wearable. Or you can't participate. And your digital ID, they're passing that as we speak. Already passed the surveillance car shit. You know, where your car shuts down 19 different ways on the way to work. Because you're tired. They want you to work 3 jobs, and then if you're tired in your car going there, it'll shut off on you. Isn't that a great system? You wanted this system, you cunts in charge. Us working 3 jobs. You wanted us tired and unorganized. What else do I say, man? It's just bothering me right now that the mark isn't out yet. And that there's this currency that I'm sure will be integral or you can't take part in society. A new currency. Already has his number on it. And it's his number. Who put it there? Donnie. That FFF. That's his number. And I've explained other ways. I don't have time tonight. That's his number. The number of a man. And the number is 666. And it's on that currency. What's the wearable going to have on it? 2 major fucking criteria. Very specific criteria. The ones that cemented it for me. That head wound I always wondered about. It's what I wondered about the most. It's what I focused on the most. And then I saw it. That's insane. And again, the realization that story was written over 1,000 years ago, son. How the fuck do you explain that? And then the currency came out. I told you the story. I knew it came out. I was quite aware of it. My own mind kept reminding, Nick, that currency, you want to take a look at that? It's sitting right there. Just take a look. For months, again, nah, I'm good. Having this argument with myself. Nah, I don't need to look at it. I could just do these videos and, I know us. Because I knew what I was going to find before I looked. And I hadn't looked yet. And again, in about 15 seconds, I looked at the card. Okay, there's no number on it. I see the picture. I see the fight. A triple iteration. And no, it wouldn't be this easy, would it? I literally had this discussion with myself. In my head. Because I know that's an art. That's a thing. In that world. Biblical writing. Biblical study. Numbers and letters. Interchangeable. So the first experiment I did was, okay, the first letter of the word is F. What does that come out in the alphabet? And before I started counting, I said it can't be that easy, right? It's not that obvious. No. A, B, C, D. Oh, F is 6. Oh, okay. Of course it goddamn is. That's why I didn't look at it for months. Figured that out in 15 seconds, like I said. I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that because you should be scared. That it's that obvious. What does that mean? That means the devil has to show it somehow. There's a rule. But he can do it in a sly way like Santa Claus. Like that whole thing. As long as he does it. So he does FFF. A triple iteration of the same thing. Just like the number 666. And just coincidentally, son, F happens to be the 6th letter in the alphabet. No algebra required. F automatically equals 6. No formulas. No equations. Just a solution. F equals 6. No trickery with the layout of the words and letters either. A triple iteration. 1, 2, 3. F, F, F. Fight, fight, fight. No tricks. No picking letters here, there, everywhere. No formulas. Just the first letter. The opening. 6th letter of the alphabet. And I knew that before I even fucking looked. I knew what I was going to find. Son, that makes it more horrifying, not less. Knowing what you're going to find before you look. Knowing it in your soul. That's how certain it is. Because God forbid, Nick ain't in the fucking apocalypse, right? Right. And the rest of us too. Not, let me not single myself out. I wouldn't want to be unfair or selfish and only think of myself when the whole globe's gonna fucking be up in flames. And millions will die, and thousands already have, and kidnaps and murders, etc. The point is, the head wound is major fucking very specific criteria. And it already happened. We already saw it. And that's what cemented it for me that yes, guaranteed we're in it, Nick. No more doubts anymore. In granted. Now the mark and his number, it's his fucking number. I've already explained how. Okay, is the number on something he's going to offer at some point? Well, there's this currency sitting there that he all of a sudden invented out of nowhere, happened to base it on that head wound moment. And the phrase, fight, fight, fight. I had never put it together before. Until I finally took a look at that coin. Before I looked at it, I said, it is a triple iteration. Just like that number. And then again, F equals 6. Not a good sign for us. And the devil would never just straight up write 666 on. That's too obvious. The devil would never come before you and say, worship Satan on Christmas Day. Because you wouldn't do it. And those who did would be shamed. It would be too obvious. So obviously that December 25th actually does mean something. And you need to ask yourself, why did the devil give every culture the commandment of a spring and winter celebration? Every culture, man. And then the church adopts these days. And I equate it to becoming a born-again Christian, a conversion. Those holidays, those celebrations got converted. We're no longer pagan after that moment. Christ's birth, Christ's resurrection. And the church took them. Because those days have significance. And the devil wanted those days for himself all throughout time till this Jesus person came. And then people started saying, and I know what you'll say. You'll say that's because they took that from the pagans and just integrated it. No, son. You know not what I know. What I can feel. Those days got converted. The way someone becomes born again, and it is a different thing after that. Because those days were important to the devil. That's why he chose them and gave them to all the cultures throughout history, every pagan culture that's ever existed. Because they probably were the real moments of his birth and resurrection. I can't historically prove that to you. It's just something I feel. And I understand the devil's psyche. And that's exactly what he would do. These special days for the future, for when this Christ comes, who is the death of me, by the way. I'm going to take those days. And we're going to have beheadings and torturings and killings and sacrifices of children and sacrifices of the elderly and all different great pagan type exercises on these celebration days for thousands of years till this Jesus guy comes along and fucks it all up. And then people start celebrating his resurrection in spring and his birth in winter instead of my celebrations. that are dedicated to me. So that finally comes along. Let me invent this Santa thing. As us English-speaking fucking people, and some other languages too spell it the same way, I think. The main villain in our existence that we know of is named Satan. And magically, Christians that celebrated this Christmas day, it somehow became, it was about Christ for a second. It somehow became about this Santa guy who has the same exact letters in his name, coincidentally, as this supervillain person. And then the English-speaking people go around saying Santa for Christmas. And Santa got you that. That's the devil's psyche, and that's how he's got to do it. Donnie can't stand before you and say he's the antichrist and I worship the devil. You understand that. And my number is 666, and I want you to wear the 666, and I want you to use the currency with 666 on it, and I'm just going to write 666 instead of fight, fight, fight. Can't do that. We all know the story. We've all seen the documentaries. Some of us have even studied further. Everyone knew about that number as well, 666. Even people that have no concept of religion or the Bible, they may have seen a movie with that theme in it, the Antichrist and the 666 and all that. They would have picked it up from somewhere. All cultures would have picked it up. It's one of the few things that's known about Scripture. That 666 thing. So you can't make a currency, even though there's a rule. They got to show us, obviously, because they're showing us certain things. And if they didn't have to, they wouldn't. I know that. It helped them get away with it and convert more of you to go along. They have to do it that way. The devil can't stand before you in the form, his natural form of the devil, and say, I'm the devil. Worship me, love me. Even though I'm the inspiration for war, death, famine, whatever. And I stoke that fire. And I am the evil behind it. Worship me. No, that wouldn't work, would it? With the horns and the wings and, No, it wouldn't work. People be like, oh shit, that's the devil. No, he's got to come in another form. He's got to send his antichrist. He's got to cover it with politics so dumbass cunts go along with evil, because evil's okay if it has a political blanket over it. Then you can eat your dinner and go to sleep at night and feel good about yourself, even though you voted for straight up Satan in the voting booth. Voted for the literal Antichrist. How many of you can say that? Millions of Americans can, that's for fucking sure. So the number's already on the currency. There's no way around that. That is his number. And he couldn't just write 666. He had to do FFF, just like the devil had to do Santa on Christmas. Not Satan on Christmas, Santa on Christmas. Just like the devil had to cover it in a blanket of politics, otherwise you would say it's evil. It wasn't your team. You would say starving children is evil if it wasn't your team, your political football team that you root for. You would say concentration camps are evil if it wasn't your team. If you weren't trying to own the libs or weren't brainwashed into always voting a certain way, no matter if it's the antichrist or not. The devil needs that political blanket for the best part of this story. When he offers you the mark, dumbass. It's your political football offering it to you, your chosen Messiah that hates who you hate. It's just politics, worshiping the devil and taking the mark. Go for it, son. You'll be owning the libs. When you're in the lake, I wonder if you think you'll be owning the libs. The number of a man, you say. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Donnie's number is 666. It's already on his currency. He will offer it to you. The number of a man, his specific number, already there, coming to you. I'm telling you straight up, all you good MAGA folk and patriots and Christians out there, it doesn't matter if you agree or believe me. His number is 666. It's on the currency. Therefore, he will be offering the currency to you. I'm telling you in advance. You can't get around it. And putting your political blanket that you're going to put over it will not save you from the lake. I am warning you. Take it seriously. The number of man has been proven. Tied to him, 666. It's his number. How do I know that? Besides a million other reasons, the currency. It already exists. Therefore, it will be offered to you. Putting the R word on a blanket and covering the mark of the beast and Satan and the Antichrist with the political blanket called Republican will do nothing for you. You will literally end up in the lake. This is the important part. You can't change your mind once it's done. There is no going back once that mark is taken. Don't take the mark. Have a wonderful evening.